good day to us all. Against all odds. So when I heard the theme, what came to my mind was a trauma which I experienced. So I still remember the smell. I remember the smell exactly now of something you can't see. It's smoke mixed with something you can't name. Something you call home. At 10 years old, I was standing in an IDP camp. And I looked at the face of my father when the news reached us that the school he built with his own hands, bricks by bricks, dream by dream, has been reduced to ashes. In that same week, I lost my youngest sister. At age 10, when most children are thinking about homework, about games, about what's for dinner, I'm thinking about whether I would survive the night. But at that moment, at that critical juncture, it laid the foundation, looking at that complete destruction, laid the foundation of everything I've built. So, in the communities, in the conflict in which I grew up, in the communities of farming and also others, fighting over land, water, and survival, statistics show that 15,000 people have lost their lives in 2018 across Nigeria. That means 15,000 families have experienced what I just described, have smelled that food. My story is not unique. My story is just part of that thread in that tapestry of tragedy across generations and borders. We started going into rural communities, sitting children under the tree in makeshift shelters, and also anywhere people could gather. And what did we do? We teach. And today, we proudly say that over 1,000 children have received free education through that initiative. But that's not the end. Those students, some of them are currently teachers themselves, and also make it channel us through leaning and learning and looking for a deepest purpose. No matter how far you go, if you still want to fight it against all odds, you need a foundation, and that's key. That's education. So I facilitated a session to the whole of the chairman local government in Sokoto State and their commissioners and critical stakeholders. And what will shock you? Among 130 participants, there was no single woman. And when I asked them, why are you being a man without a single woman? And they said, but later I realized that the men are uncomfortable for the women to come and learn. So I told one of them, so you're comfortable for me to come and teach you, but you're uncomfortable for your ladies, for your wives, for your sisters, for your daughters to come and learn. Why do I bring up this instance? I brought it to reference that if you really want to fight it, and you really want to make it against all odds, you need that education. It can't be overemphasized, especially women education. And secondly, as they still want me to be on the stage, is so I'm also a FOB expert. So what is FOB? In a context whereby you live side by side with young people who come with different faith, what we do is to promote for freedom of religion or belief. In Plateau State, I can tell you, hands down, that part of the relative peace we're enjoying today has a lot to do with those advocacies that we've been doing and those hard work we did and committed in order to advocate for inclusion and also advocate for freedom of religion or belief. So everybody have the right and the freedom to practice his religion without any sentiment, without fear, without any favor. The initiative is talking about over 1,000. So what do we project for the next 5 years? Is that we want to see every child has that platform and you will not have to go through what I went through. That he will never have to decide between his future and his survival. We will make sure that happens because now we've planted the seed and laid the foundation. In the next 5 years, we're going to make sure that a lot of children in low-income communities and rural communities would have that basic access to education without the fear of being killed or being displaced. Because like I said earlier, displacements don't just take your home, it takes your identity. And when your identity is taken, it will be difficult for you to identify yourself. It dehumanizes you, it demoralizes you, and it will make you become so much like stateless. And that was one of the reasons that I'm pursuing my PhD in conflict management and peace studies, so that we can amplify that work, we can amplify those activities, and we can say that against all odds, we all will be at the top. So my call to us all today is, look into your community, look into your life, and recognize that disputes, either with your family, with your colleagues, or your community. Instead of walking away, walk through it. By walking through it, you will find the purpose. Because peace begins when two people agree that everybody's voice matters. What will I leave you with? I will leave you with this. That's even during those ashes, that seeds can grow when you're patient along, when you're patient enough to plant those seeds and wait for it to grow. Thank you.